Right, that's one story. When you used to.
What did you used to do when you were like during the war? What was your job?
What was my what?
Your job
During the war was repairing, well, not just repairing, making new boats where 4 soldiers sit in and could use them. And then we had to, when they came back from Dunkirk or different places, they were all blood and muck on. We had to clean them all off and repair them ready for, wouldn't repair holes, but anything else could be repaired and send them back for them to use again.
Right, and what like how long would you spend like on like each day working on
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day? How long did you do that for? Like how many?
Oh, during the war, 5 years.
Just 5 years.
Yeah.
What did you do when the what did you do after that then?
No, well, I'll say after that. After, then I went on to sort of medical things like making surgical beds.
Oh right.
Clarify, what was those other.
I said, well, and then after that I went on to making a seaside, I don't know what you call those bleeding things, seaside things like a duck with a bottom bit there where the kid sat in and paddled away in the water.
Oh, right.
And they were all different patterns. Every day you made different animals.
Oh really?
And I really liked that. That was nice.
Right. How old were you when you met Grandad? How old were you when you met Grandad?
About 21.
21.
I don't know. I can't remember. And then I was married when I was 23, I think.
How old were you when you had Robert?
Oh, 32.
32. All right. When did you realise that he was deaf?
When did I realise he was what?
Deaf.
Oh, when he was quite small. We weren't sure. You should sit out in the pram, and his dad had come along on a motorbike and revved the engine up, and he wouldn't even turn round.
Oh really?
So we knew then. Well, didn't think of complete deafness. We just thought there was something wrong with his ears.
Oh right,
and
yeah.
When I took him to Great Ormond Street, they said, issue him with hearing aid, he's deaf.
Oh, that was the first thing they said, to give him a hearing aid.
And then I went scatty after that.
Did he ever actually have hearing aids then?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? They didn't have any effect?
He used to have hearing aid in a little square pocket with elastic round his body.
Oh really?
And I was lucky, went up the market and I bought a whole bundle on a card for peanuts, you might as well say, of this certain elastic what you couldn't buy.
Oh right.
And I made him a load. And he had 2 then. He used to wear 2, what's names? And when he used to go over the park with his brother, he used to go where the goalposts, nick the goalposts and run off with them. And then in the meantime he'd lose his hearing aid. And there was back at, do you remember, 2 o'clock in the afternoon to about 4, looking all over the grass where they'd been, looking for hearing aid.
Well, so when you found out that he was deaf, what did you do? Like, did you go and learn sign language?
Well, there was nothing to do. He was only 9 months old.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when he got to 2.5, they said he decided he should go to school. I thought he was a bit young, but he didn't, and that was heartbreaking for him and me. Because I took him to the school, he didn't know where he was going, no one could tell him.
Yeah.
And the headmaster said, right now, just left him for a little while, now walk out and leave him, he'll come home tonight. I stood outside that school and I broke my bleeding heart for hours. And on my way home I met Grandad, he was delivering beer. I told him, he started crying. And then when they brought him home on a school bus on a night time, oh, like little lunatic.
Well, they
he
brought
was.
him home on the bus when he was
Oh,
two and a
He used to come
half.
home on school bus and go home school bus every morning.
At two and a half, really?
What's called?
Yeah.
What school was that at that age?
Frank Barnes.
Oh, Frank Van. Oh, that still runs now. I did some research about
Yeah.
that for my course.
Frank Barnes.
Oh right, at two and a
And
half.
then,
That's so young.
What?
That's so young to start
Yeah.
school. And that so
And he went there till he was 10.
Yeah.
He left Frank Barnes
Yeah.
and had to go to Oak Lodge, didn't he?
Mm.
No, he was 12.
12 when he went to Oak Lodge. And was it Oak Lodge that was the boarding school?
Is this for your deaf thing?
Well, just yeah, partly.
It's very hard for him, Francis. He didn't know then that where he was going. But nevertheless, at 12 years old, he's at a strange school. It's 12 stations on the tube.
Mm.
And he runs away from there and runs home one night. I mean, at 12 years old.
Yeah, I remember him telling me that story
And
as
he
well.
got home with, he only had 5p in his pocket, but he got home with that 5p. And he was the, he broke my heart, he did, and all. It went up and he said, I've made him comfortable, he's in bed now. Oh, I said, leave him alone. I said, no, I'm not going to leave him alone. He went and sat up there with him, come down. I said, what you doing, Ray? He said, Robert's hungry. I said, well, let him go hungry. He said, no, I'm doing him some bread and jam. He done him bread and jam and took it.
Oh, from what I heard, Dad wasn't always that nice to Uncle Robert when they were growing up. That Robert used to follow Dad, and Dad used to try and lose him.
He used to come in to me and say, Mum, could you please hold him until we're out of sight? He makes a noise. I knew he makes a loud noise. I knew more than anyone. He makes a loud noise because they was playing knocking down Ginger, and they'd get caught, see?
He'd make him get caught.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever go to learn any sign language or whatever, or was it just like what you
No,
guys?
they should have told us to, but they never even mentioned
They
anything.
didn't mention it.
No.
Oh no.
In fact, when Robert had to go to the big school, what we call big school, there was only 3 choices to choose from.
Mm.
I don't know how many more there were.
Yeah, I think London there is the most schools for like deaf children, but
Yeah.
it's still not a lot because if you live on one end of
But
London,
he wasn't the only boy that was. He used to cry that I take him Monday morning, and when I see him Friday, he'd hold his arms out, and I mean he was 12 years old. He'd break his heart. He didn't want to come back Monday, because Monday it was a job for me to get him on the school bus. He'd run round that bleeding block. I'd chase him. Oh. He's had a hard little life, really, Robert.
I know. Yeah, well he's doing all
I
right.
mean, when
for
I look at
himself
that
now.
photo up there, in that red silk suit,
Yeah.
and he was a little bit bigger than that, me and Albie took him, was going to take 2 teeth out, put him on my shoulder, with a big plug on my shoulder, put him on there. Blood was pouring out of his mouth. They took 8 teeth out of that boy's mouth
8. What, when they were only supposed to take out
without
2?
asking me.
That's...
Oh, I nearly chucked the tools at him, didn't I?
I'm not surprised.
No, it was a shame. No,